Here we go. Episode 131 of the Trash Talk Business Podcast. This is our opportunity every week to come together to grow, share, and join our junk removal dreams to build them into the companies we've always wanted. As always, I'm Andy Weins, and today I'm joined by Alastair from NiceJob, British man living in Canada, Canada. I know a lot of Canadian people. My friends over at Job are Canadian.
Hmm.
Bolt, Accelerated, old 505 Junk Removal is Canadian, and now NiceJob. Canadian with a British guy. Not confusing at all. Alastair. Alastair like Hollister. That's the way I remember it. How the
Hmm.
hell are you today?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me on, Andy. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So I always start the podcast with a very simple softball question. Why are
Hmm.
you here? Right? Let's go right
Why?
there. Let's get to it. Why? Very simple. Let's do that.
Why am I here? Well, why am I here? Well, why I'm here basically is, as everyone's probably guessed at this point, apart from the British man in Canada, I try to find some kind of purpose for me being in Canada. So luckily, these guys at NiceJob took me on.
Yep.
I think it's coming up to about 4 years ago, nearly 4 years on the dot. So very grateful for them for doing that, taking me in. But yeah, honestly, I mean, Andy, obviously you know this, but the way me and Andy met was actually through NiceJob. Andy uses us.
Yep.
We're basically a really good opportunity. Andy's had some really awesome results from us. He's kind of mastered the art of using the product. So I'm on here to talk to you guys a little bit about what we do, and how it could benefit your business, benefit your life. Like Andy mentioned, there's companies out there like Jobber, all of these other companies that we integrate with to kind of make the whole growing the business just a seamless, easy, scalable experience for you. So I'm here to kind of shed some light on that.
So break it down for us, Barney Sal. What does NiceJob do? Let's get right to
Yeah.
the brass tacks of it.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, we just make it really, really easy for business owners to get reviews. So we make it really easy for you to ask for reviews. We make it easy for your customers to leave you a review, and we make it easy for you to then share their reviews. So the way that we do that is through automation. So we set the whole software up. So basically, you just do the things you're good at, which is the jobs, servicing clients, working with them. And then you leave all of the rest to us. We work in the background for you. And yeah, really, we just through the power of automation, we basically automatically we use automated campaigns, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail. But we basically just ask these customers when the job's been completed to leave you a review, and we put as few barriers in front of them as possible. So we make the conversion really high. A lot of people, they understand the importance of getting reviews. They know they need them. They just don't always have much success in getting them. And the reason for that is we are, as I'm sure you're aware, like our attention is always being grabbed, it's always being pulled in
Mm-hmm.
different directions. I'm guilty of it myself, right? So we need to be asked not just once, not just twice, multiple times through different means. So we use SMS, we use email, and yeah, we take those reviews, and that's really the first part. The second part, which we'll go into more detail in, is the magic, the secret sauce, which is how you use those reviews to grow the business. And the idea behind it really is that each one of your customers brings you in one more customer. So you can kind of use your reviews to close more sales. You can build in a referral feature there as well that we offer. So you can really get the company growing through the customers as opposed to traditional methods, SEO, all that kind of stuff, paid ads. I think a lot of people these days are kind of getting wise with that, and they're understanding, okay, well, it's great that businesses are talking to me about these things. They're saying how great they are. I want to know what their customers are saying. I want to know what people who are using them are saying. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people make their buying decisions now on based on reviews. So it's really, really important you boost those.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, when I'm traveling, especially when I go to restaurants, I'm always looking for recommendations. I want to know, hey, what's the, I love museums, so it's like, hey,
Hmm.
what's the one place in town I need to go to if I like history, right? Walking tours, museums, whatever it is. Like I trust people a hell of a lot more than I trust websites. And
Yeah.
what I love about what NiceJob does, I'm a huge proponent of NiceJob. We've been using it for years. When I talk about business, one of the challenges we have as small business owners, and people in general, right, is we got shit to do, right? And I
Hmm.
know there's things that we do that do not serve us all the time. And so when you want to have the benefit of something without the work, right? There's three things you can do. You can automate, delegate, or eliminate it entirely. And
Hmm.
with a staff, you can delegate. Often what ends up happening is when you're a small business owner, you are the everything, right? The old adage, you wear all the hats. Nice thing about NiceJob, we've noticed this from day one, it's all about automation. For $75 a month, it does the thing. right?
Yeah.
If we do 25 jobs, it's $3 a job essentially for you to go get reviews. And those reviews, when it comes to SEO on Google, are absolutely tremendous. I know from my experience, the user experience, it's like we link in with Jobber, does all the things, right? Sends them email now, follows up 3 days later, hits them up 7 days later, asks for a review. Like I said, reduces the barriers, allows people to add reviews to NiceJob, and then from there, people can choose to post to Google or Facebook. Or sometimes people leave you the review and then send an email. And right, especially if it's not so favorable, it's an opportunity to get feedback from your customers without
Hmm.
ruining your reputation sometimes. And so I love NiceJob. I've been using NiceJob for years. I've done some campaigns with NiceJob recently, speaking on their behalf. It was interesting is I was at a conference in February, almost 2 years ago, the NWRA, National Waste and Recycling Association conference in Phoenix at a hotel. And there was another conference. It was for like spray washer guys or something. And NiceJob was there at the conference, and they had a table. And I was like, "Hey man, I can love your product. I use it. This is dope." He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm at a different conference." He's like, "Say that again, but on camera." So he pulled up the camera. I just started fucking rapping about how much I love NiceJob. And then like a couple months later, you guys hit me up and were like, "Hey, you want to say some more nice shit on the camera?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Hmm.
I'm a huge proponent. I've been offered opportunities of sponsorship. Casey and I talked about this for the podcast. We've never taken sponsorship for the podcast. We want to have on who we want to have on. We want to have conversations with people we want to have. I'll promote products I use. Absolutely. Like I use NiceJob. I use Jobber. I talk about them regularly because I use the product. And the whole purpose of this podcast is to how do we automate and simplify being a business owner. And NiceJob is a great product. It interfaces with other CRMs, and it can be a standalone product. So wherever you are, right, you don't have to be a evangelical person with Jobber as much as I am, and you can still get the benefits of NiceJob. To your point, driving the reviews, which gives you a couple things, gives you the feedback from your customers, it increases your SEO, also increases your trust and your well, really the validity of your business. And then
Hmm.
on top of it, the referrals, you give your customers an opportunity to refer other people in a more anonymous, less salesy kind of way. So I love what NiceJob does for us. It obviously works. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here promoting it. You know, it's really that cut and dry.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like what you said there about when you talked about, I think you kind of referenced how it's almost like you're having one centralized place for it. And that's kind of what I love about NiceJob, because you're, in terms of, when you first get started and you're scaling the business and you're trying to grow, obviously you've got a lot of things going on. If you're able to get everything related to reviews in one place, in one dashboard, you've got Google, you've got Facebook, you've got BBB, wherever you're getting reviews,
Yep.
NiceJob is going to pull them all into one dashboard. So if you're just the guy on the truck by yourself, like you have no other staff members, or maybe you have some admin staff, you've got a little office team going on, you're able to have whoever's using it just have access to it everywhere. So whenever a review comes in, you're going to get immediately notified, ping on your phone. If you've got someone in the office or when you need to get home, you can go on there, you can reply to that review within NiceJob, which will put it at the source, i.e. on Google. So I mean, I'm going to throw some stats to you every now and then, but okay, I did some digging before this, but 53% of customers expect businesses to respond to negative feedback within 1 week, and that's growing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you can centralize your review game like that and you have a place where they're going to show up immediately, then
Yep.
it's just going to help you kind of save face, address inquiries, and make the whole experience for your customers way more positive.
Well, it's all about your end of day checks, right? Your end of day checks is
Yeah.
respond to all your reviews. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't have time for that." It's like your customers took the time to pay you and give you a review, and you're telling me you don't have time to follow up with them and thank them. So we
Yeah.
we respond to every one of our reviews. We're like 1,400. Yesterday I checked because I knew you were going to be on today. We're at
Yeah.
1,455 reviews, perfect 5-star rating. It's nice thing is a couple too, and that's on Google, right? Because we drive Google. That's where we want to go. The other thing about
Hmm.
NiceJob is you brought up BBB or Yelp or Facebook. You get to decide as a business owner, how do I want to push my reviews? Like for us, I looked also Yelp. We have 5 reviews on
Yeah.
Yelp. We have like 100 on Facebook and almost 1,500 on Google. I also know when I was in the San Diego market and also the Twin Cities market, Yelp carried a hell of a lot more weight than Facebook. So that's the
Yeah.
other thing about NiceJob is you can shift people to where you want their reviews to go, ideally. And that allows you as the business owner to have one more level and layer or lever, I should say, layer. I'm screwing myself up between layer and level. And lever. We'll call it lever. That one's
English language.
One more. Yeah, is that how y'all say? How do y'all say lever? Y'all say lever?
I say lever. Yeah.
Say schedule.
Um, I know where you're going. So schedule.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the one that throws me off the most. Somebody doesn't even a fucking word. Schedule.
Yeah.
Like I get the about or the aboots, right? I get that, but the schedule, like it's not even a word. You know?
I know.
That's a good one. Like you had to think about how to not say it, and yet you like your brain ain't fucking braining.
No, it really
anyway,
is.
the lever. One more lever you can pull within your business. Again, you're not controlling behavior; you're steering behavior in a certain direction, right? You're asking for reviews. I know a couple of weeks ago I was on the call with you and that other woman. We were talking about NiceJob and how we can increase our usage. Like we're at almost 30% of our customers give us reviews, which before NiceJob, less than 10%. You know, I mean, our goal is 30%. Our goal, we're at like 29.6. Like we're right there on the cusp. And you know, most people, I ask them like, how many jobs you do this week and how many reviews? It's probably less than 10, right? Maybe with some thank you cards, less than 20. Because even when you do them right in the spot, people don't have a Google account. They don't have a Facebook account. These things prohibit people from leaving reviews. While with NiceJob, there's none of those barriers to entry for someone to leave you a review.
Yeah, on that point, Andy, I was actually, because you're right, you do have 29.3 right now conversion. It's pretty crazy. And so obviously I don't want to downplay, like NiceJob's great for that, but I know that I've seen people that use our product and people are able to boost those numbers by doing things outside of NiceJob, i.e. planting the seed in the customer's head. Like what kind of things do you and your team do? How have you found ways that you've kind of boosted that outside of the automation that we give?
So first thing is thank you card. Thank you cards with a QR code. The QR code takes them to NiceJob, right? So so it's like they can do that there. That's the other thing I like about NiceJob. I'll get back on track. Don't forget your question because I will get back to it. The nice thing about NiceJob too is once people leave a review, it stops the trickling down the funnel. There's other review sites out there where it doesn't acknowledge the fact that someone actually left a review. So people are like I get that all the time. Like I'll leave a review for a business. All of a sudden it's like, rate our business. Like I already did. But maybe they have like a different email address associated or something. I'm like, I don't, like now I'm irritated. Like I write very few reviews. So if I did write a review, like don't ask me for another one. Anyways. So thank you cards, QR codes. The other thing is we incentivize our guys. Our guys in the field get $1 per review. They get $2 if they have their name mentioned and $5 when the customer puts the picture on, because we know that's what drives SEO. Now, we're not paying our customers for reviews, right? We're encouraging our guys with bonuses, and then our guys they're going to deliver better service, right? And they're going to be more incentivized, right? It's instrumental motivation, right? $5 for you to take a few minutes of your day to take a picture with our customers. Actually, one of our employees today was like, hey man, what if they don't want to post a picture and we get the picture? It's like, well, send us the picture, right? So we can use it on Facebook and other places. Like, what we're encouraging is great customer service. The review is nice. The great customer service is the key. Be worthy, right? Deliver our service in a way that's worthy of a 5-star review. That's the key.
Exactly. Yeah. And providing you have the right process set up, that's exactly where the kind of beauty of this is. If you have the right process set up in your back end, i.e. using NiceJob with Jobber or standalone, as you mentioned, then all you need to do is focus on what you said. Then all you need to do is focus on the service, and you can have confidence that these people are going to be enrolled in a campaign. And just to kind of shed a little bit more light on that for the listeners, what we do a little bit differently is, because I speak to a lot of guys who they're like, yeah, I have a process in place. I send them the link in an email, send them to my Google. Few issues with that. First of all, the attention span we spoke about earlier, they'll see it. Even if they had the best experience, it's like, oh, I'll do it later. They won't do it later. Something will come up. The kids need picking up from school, all this kind of stuff. The second thing, if you're sending them just one Google link, if they don't have a Google account, if they can't log in, then they can't leave you a review. You need to give them multiple options. So what we do is we actually put them in a 2-week campaign cycle. So they're going to get a text message right after the job's done. Hopefully they click the link in there and they leave a review. If they don't, our system recognizes it. We'll follow up with an email a couple of days later, all very differently worded emails. So for example, the 4th one, I checked your stats, you actually get really good conversion on your 4th email or your 4th message, which is 2 weeks later. and that email is written as if it's coming directly from you. It's a very personalized, this is from Andy email.
Yep.
So that's why the conversion spikes back up again. So you can actually see in your
And
stats like how many reviews you wouldn't have got if
who
you
wrote
didn't
those
send.
emails? You guys wrote them, I think, and we had customization to church them up a little bit.
Yeah, we've basically used a ton of A/B testing to find out like how much content, but there is the option to go in there and personalize it, because obviously different company, the way people talk, branding, that kind of stuff. So you can go in there and tweak it. We recommend not playing around with it too much, because the amount of text, the way that it's written, the call to actions, all very, very strategic.
Pay smart people will tell you what to do. Right.
Exactly.
I didn't even know what said Andy. That's so much, right? Like automation. Well, and
Exactly.
also for me, marketing, of the 6 buckets of business, I have a high 3 and a low 3. Marketing is a low 3. I bring a lot of marketing people on the show here because it's a low 3 for me, right? Operations, very few. I've had very few operators on this show because I consider myself very strong in operations, sales, and then finance. Finance is my baby. I do fractional CFO work.
Yeah, I've seen your spreadsheets.
Yeah,
they're very organized.
Ooh, don't tease me with a good time. You want to see a good spreadsheet? Let me tell you something. Actually, so other shout, hey, Taylor, go downstairs. Taylor's producer. Say this loud because this is how I operate. Taylor, go downstairs and go ask Mike for a NiceJob gum. He'll know what that means. Yes. Anyways, all right. So a couple weeks ago, we hosted the recycling summit here, and it ended up turning into a mastermind. It ended up being more of a conference room mastermind for 8 hours on Saturday, which was great. I left the event open enough to say, hey, what do people really want? And people want recycling. So Friday was more recycling. Saturday was brass tacks. It was operations. It was finance. And because we had that proof of concept, we're going to be doing another one. We're going to be doing quarterly masterminds. So instead of like this big off event, it's going to be more quarterly masterminds. Because even for me, I like getting the nitty gritty. I like getting the spreadsheets. When I can see some data, right? Data-driven decisions. Yeah. When I see the data, the decisions become much more obvious. So yeah, even you and I, it was you and I can't remember, whatever we were having a conversation about on we were talking about the recycling summit on that Zoom call. And then before you know it, I was like, oh yeah, look at my spreadsheets. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about that. And so from a marketing standpoint, it's like, cool, you write the copy, you make it sound good, you figure out the automation, let me figure out the spreadsheets. Like, I knew my number was 29.6. That was like 3 weeks ago. We listed 70 jobs last week and had a 12% review rate last week. Not a good week, not happy. We check it right? So that dropped us a little bit. All right, so this is what I was talking about. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this zoom. I got to cover my face. There it is. Look at that.
There it is.
Double the refreshness, 4 times the review. NiceJob was nice enough to send us their own brand. Who has the balls to get their own branded gum? I hadn't chewed a piece of gum in like 5 years, and I pounded through a pack of this in like 2 days.
Hey, at conferences, you got to keep fresh breath. You're going to be speaking to a lot of people.
I had onions and pickles with my cheeseburger for lunch, so I'm probably due. I'll be honest.
I'll send you some more. Don't worry.
I know who I am. They were delicious. I was at the Butler Inn. So yeah, even the guys when they came for the recycling summit, we went to the Butler Inn. So it's this shitty. It's the restaurant in town. So we had a fish fry, had a great time. One of the guys that was in the round table, we already used NiceJob and loved it. 2 or 3 other people were like, oh yeah, this is like, why am I chasing down reviews? And it's like, yeah. And then also responding. I like what you mentioned about responding to reviews. You're not chasing things down. You just go up the dashboard. You look at your stats for the day, stats for the week. You plug it in and you move on with your life. And that way, you're not checking 10 different places. You're going one spot, and it's that simple automation I love.
And honestly, on that point as well, just to dive in there, and it all comes back to how it boosts your online reputation. Something even as simple as getting a review and responding to it. I know when I go and look at a company's reviews, if I'm seeing a company where even if there's a couple of bad experiences in there, right? If I'm seeing that the owner is taking the time to respond to every single review, then that completely changes the perspective for me versus if I see some negative reviews out there that have just been neglected, or even positive ones that no one responded to. If I can see that, this business, maybe it's just getting started, it's making mistakes here and there. If I can see that they're actually striving to address the concerns of customers and change that experience into a good one, then that actually potentially makes my buying decision for me. It makes me, people buy people, right? They don't necessarily buy companies. They're buying into the person behind the company, the face of it. So you need to make sure that your online reputation is just reflecting your values, your company. And that's why I think volume is so key, because if you're only going for You know, because a lot of people, their perspective is, oh, I don't want to ask for a review because I don't want it to be bad. I'm only going to ask them if I know it's going to be good. And that leaves you with a Google page with like 15 5-star reviews, and people just won't, they just won't consider you.
Most places, I look like a restaurant. If you got less than like 1,000 reviews on a restaurant, you got to be new or something. Other restaurants got 3,000-4,000. You know, restaurants probably get the most. You know, yeah. When I'm looking at other businesses, maybe 50 reviews is a lot for some industries, like maybe a lawyer or something, right? Where they're not churning a lot of customers. However, where you rank among your peers, like in junk removal, like 100, like get your first 100 reviews, that's a significant milestone, right? And then it's 500, and then it's 1,000. You know, we're approaching 1,500 reviews right now. And other than Big Blue, we're the #1 dog in town. That's the key, is the and also the quantity of reviews. You're going to get a 4-star in there, a 3-star. Hell, you might even earn yourself a 1 or a 2, right? They happen. The other data I looked at a couple weeks ago, I was on a local TV show talking about our rebrand. We rebranded to Camo Crew Responsible Junk Removal. And what does that word responsible mean? And one of the things we talk about with the responsible, it's the environment piece. It's also the professionalism we bring. So I pulled up all my reviews on Google. I pulled them through NiceJob because it's a lot faster to pull the data from NiceJob. Threw it in an Excel spreadsheet because, you know, I love that life. And I looked, right? We have a perfect 5-star rating, and we got some other reviews in there, and there's no doubt. However, when I did the math of 5-star reviews against all the reviews, I had 98% of our customers gave us 5-star reviews. So now I can say confidently, right? 98% satisfaction guaranteed. 98% of our customers are satisfied. And then my hillbilly math tells me this: 1% of people suck and 1% of projects suck. I can accept 98%. I can accept that our guys are going to fuck it up 1% of the time. And I can accept that you're going to have a customer that's not going to be happy no matter what you do 1% of the time. I average about 50 jobs a week. So that means in a month or in a week, I'm going to have 1 job that goes to shit. In a month, I'm going to have 4 jobs that go to shit. As soon as I accept that as my operational liability to being a business owner, I move on. And we have earned some 3 and 4 and even 1-star reviews, right? We have shit the bed. We have had the wrong people on the wrong jobs. We've had equipment breakdown. We have underbid jobs. This is junk removal, baby. There's a lot of things out of our control that we screw up, and there's things within our control that we screw up.
You're human.
Right?
You're human, right?
We have a couple employees that show up late, and all of a sudden we're running behind all day. One job gets a little bit bigger. All of a sudden we run out of capacity. We run 2 hours late to a job. They got the right to be upset. They got the right to lay us out. And we have the opportunity to say, you're right. Thank you for your patience. We strive for this. We missed the mark. Thank you for your feedback. And then we move on. And we had one recently where we had a customer. It was a tough situation with the family. Mom and dad were moving into memory care, and the niece of the mom wrote this terrible review about how terrible we were. We took all their stuff, and it's like they didn't know the depth of the story. They didn't know about the state getting involved. So we didn't argue. We just said, hey, we really appreciate your concerns. This is what we strive for. And then we moved on. And we often ask our customers, right, if they leave us a review, we'll ask them, hey, what can we do better? We'll ask them in the review and also offline, hey, what can we do better? And we've had instances before where people have taken down negative reviews because we had one time where we got this negative review for damage. We're like, well, hold on. Like we had before and after pictures, no damage. There was like 3 or 4 of the contractors in the house, and turns out it was somebody else, right? And we had a negative review for it. So in that case, it was like the pictures plus the conversation. I'd rather have that than just the shitty review or a realtor, especially our lifeblood as realtors, you know, where a realtor never leaves you a review, stops using you, and then a year later, like, hey, why'd you stop using us? It's like, oh, well, you screwed up this. It's like, well, shit. Had you told us, we could have figured it out. You know?
Yeah.
Here, real quick. Taylor, who's our producer, who stopped in and gave me the gum, he put up a stat. So here in Milwaukee, we have this guy called David Gruber. David Gruber is the one call, that's all, personal injury attorney. You either love him or you hate him. Anyways, David Gruber has 1,359 reviews, and they're asking clients in a similar fashion to NiceJob for the most part. So, Gruber, the biggest law firm in town, does not have as many reviews as us. Maybe we got to hook them up with, Taylor, are you saying we should hook them up with NiceJob so we can get more reviews? Everywhere you go in Milwaukee, you see Gruber. He's on the billboards. He's at the Bucks games. Every youth sporting event, you see Gruber, one call, that's all, in the back of their shirts because he is everywhere. But anyways,
Yeah,
1,300.
guess.
Yeah, maybe there we go. There we go. We're gonna send a pack of gum to take David Gruber and be like, hey man, rookie numbers. Junk removal
Yeah.
companies got more reviews than you.
It's true though what you were saying. I mean, just to go back to, I really do think negative reviews present opportunities for growth. I mean,
Yeah.
in the ways that we've already mentioned, in terms of showing that you visibly care, making it short, making it known to a lot of these people, they just want to be listened to, right? It's like you were saying, like, we hear you, like, you're right. They just want that. A lot of times it can lead to them coming down. And honestly, for these listeners who are listening to this and they're pretty early on, you need to take on as much feedback as possible, which is why volume is important. If you ask 5 people, right, and those 5 people say, oh, you're amazing, you did great, but then if you'd have asked 20 more people, the other 20 would say, no, it's terrible, they were late. Like, you're not getting an accurate representation of how well you're actually doing. So that's really why it presents an opportunity for growth. That's why, not just in terms of generating reviews to get you to rank higher on Google so that you can then share all these reviews and grow the business, which we'll talk about very soon, but just in order to get your finger on the pulse of like how well you guys are actually doing, like what are the things you're good at, what are the things you're not good at, get a full holistic view of where the business is at. And yeah, I mean, if you can get a load of reviews and get a really good idea of like, oh, so many people here are saying we're punctual, we're on time, or we're really, our texts smell good, things like this. Like, you can then start to build that messaging into how you talk about your own brand, and then that's going to connect with how customers are, and that's what people look for. And yeah, I just think it's a great way of really kind of taking the business to the next level. Whichever stage of business you're at, you should be prioritizing reviews.
Oh, I love it. Eric with a Q is one of our loyal listeners. We gotta have Eric with a Q on the show. Taylor Eric hook up. Let's get Eric on the show. He's a chimer inner, right? And typically chimer inners, we invite them to this show because I want to hear what they're learning, Like Govro, he was a chimer inner for the longest time, and then we had him on the show. First time hearing, I've seen you. This is my first time hearing. I've seen Eric with a Q before. Maybe he's in one of the groups. Eric with a Q. Anyways, Eric with a Q. 343, trying to get to 400
That's
by the
awesome.
end of the year. Get NiceJob. The other thing I love about that comment there, Eric, have goals. You'll never know if you're achieving or exceeding goals, or you're exceeding your expectations without having clear goals, and communicate there. Oh, there you go. No, this is my first time hearing. All right, there we go. First time hearing about NiceJob. I was like, he's been on the podcast before. There we go. I heard what he said. Now, first time hearing because I asked him. I said, we'll replay the conversation. Got some NiceJob. Look at that fucking good looking guy. No big deal. Big flex. And then he said, no time. First time hearing about it. Nice job. There we go. I love hearing the show when you're inspiring me to let's go, bro. All right. Actually, random guy called me today. I got to get back to him. From Austin, Texas. He's like, I got a bunch of, what do you call it? Radiator fluid, antifreeze. Antifreeze he needs to get rid of. And I was like, oh, I'll take that on. Like, I'll jump into that. That sounds like fun. No, Eric with a Q. See, I knew Eric with a Q here. See, I hesitated. I was like, what do you mean first time hearing the show?
Eric with a Q. Make sure you come back on as well and let us know if you reached 400 by end of year. We want to hear it.
Well, let's get him. Hey, hold on. You know what? I do know, right? Because we did a little prep before the show. By prep, I mean, you're like, hey, when's this airing? I go, right now. You're like, what? I was like, yeah, no, it's live. Like, we're pressing the button. So Alastair, like Hollister, does have, every year they have a Black Friday-esque special. So there's going to be a Black Friday special. So Eric, shoot a message over to us. We'll get you the link and the fancy promo stuff. We'll get you hooked up. The other thing is with NiceJob, when you import the contacts, you can trigger the review process from previous customers. Is that accurate or am I talking on my ass?
Yeah, no, you're right. So
okay.
what basically what it looks like?
That was a we're swinging from the hip, right? On that one. We didn't prep that great. There we go. If you said no, you'd be looking real stupid right now.
No, it's the way that we, just to kind of like give a high level, when you come up with NiceJob, we always give everyone a 2-week free trial. And the reason it's strategically 2 weeks is because that's how long our campaigns run for when you invite someone to leave a review. So basically in that 2 weeks, and it's no obligation for you to move on past it, but you have your own onboarding coach. They set the whole account up for you. We typically recommend sort of taking your last 60, 90-day clients, and we enroll them all, right? We enroll them all in a campaign, and the system can tell if someone's left you a review or not. So we're inviting all of these clients who you've recently serviced who didn't leave your review. So our aim for anyone who joins us, regardless if they continue beyond the 2 weeks or not, we just try and get you a ton of reviews. It's a really good way for you to see firsthand how the system works. So absolute worst case scenario, you'll leave your 2-week free trial and you'll have a ton of reviews that you can then implement in your marketing. Let me tell you though, it's very rare that someone does the 2 weeks and decides not to continue just because of the results. So yeah, it's a very good introduction to using the software.
I do love that software programs and different companies are starting to do that. It's like, give
Yeah.
away the shit for free that you already do. Make it where I never want to break the relationship up with you. I remember when we first looked at NiceJob, I think it was $75 a month at the time. I was like, I don't know. And it's like, well, hold on. Will I pay $75 a month to get 25% of my customers to give me reviews? Yeah. Eric, to your question, does it integrate with Jobber? Hell yeah, it does. Very, very simple. Right in the Jobber page, you can click it. It's like 2 buttons. It's simpler than linking a bank account to QuickBooks. You're like, hey, this is me and the thing, and you can develop a campaign. That's the thing about NiceJob. I do remember this is 4 years ago we implemented it, 3-4 years ago. Was that you get on a Zoom call for an hour. They do everything. They set up your automations. They're like, hey, what name? Like I remember it was like, do you want Andy or Andrew? It's like, I want Andy. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. And they're like, all right, cool. And they're like, all right, 2 weeks. If we don't hear anything, we're gonna start charging the credit card. Cool. And I haven't done shit since other than love on NiceJob and get some free gum. So yes, to your point, Eric, that's the other thing. I talked about this when I did those Jobber commercials a couple months back, right? I used to write down, in text and put in the calendar all this shit. Actually, I was sitting like right here. If you ever see that Jobber commercial, I swore on it. I guess like the waste of my fucking time, right? And I said that like in jest. He goes, "Oh yeah, do that again." So then I did the swearing one and the non-swearing one from then on. And the point is, that's whatever. Total side note. The point is, once they're in Jobber links them to NiceJob, no different than QuickBooks. You put them in one time. Your entire clients are managed within Jobber, and then you can look at reviews separately within NiceJob. And yet, every time when you get the jump with the job, they get the text message from Jobber saying, "Hey, your job's complete. Here's your invoice. Here's NiceJob. Hit us up. Give us a review." So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, so to Eric's question, yeah, it's really, really seamless integration with Jobber. They're actually our biggest partner. They basically, whenever the job's been completed, so in order to get this automation going, we look for triggers, right? So with QuickBooks, it might be when the invoice has been paid. With Jobber, it's when the job has been marked complete. So as soon as that job's been marked complete, Jobber then tells NiceJob, hey, peak moment of opportunity here, like get that text message sent off. So we send it right away. So we get the name, email, phone from Jobber. And then, yeah, they get enrolled in the campaign. So seamless integration. And one thing to point out, because I know some people might have repeat clients, whenever someone does go into a campaign with us, they will get enrolled into a 6-month cooldown period. 6 months generally, and in that 6 months, they can't be invited. So if you go and service them again a week later, close a job, they won't go in. 6 months we find is generally a good time to get another updated review. And our system will also know, hey, last time they left us a review on Facebook, so this time let's give them Google as the option. So it's what Andy was talking about earlier in the call in terms of using smart technology to kind of get ongoing feedback and spread it across wherever your business is visible. So that's really the key.
I love it. No, and that is a consideration. People don't want to get bombarded. And also we get customers actually the opposite. Like, oh my God, the guys were here 2 months ago. They were great. I want to leave you another review. And you're like, awesome. Have your husband do it or have your neighbor do it. It's like, I want you to give me another awesome review. Please, lady. No, NiceJob. Again, it's seamless. And also 90 days is good. There are people out. We do surveys every now and then. Beyond our regular survey, and we'll go back and we'll hit up all our customers from a 90-day period, because there's also some truth in, hey, what do you remember about 3 months ago? Reviews you want right away. Surveys though, it's like, hey, what's your house like since then? Have you referred us to anybody? Like, what do you remember about the service? Like, those things kind of can also stimulate. So even now, when you get that, like for Eric, you do that push, that 2-week free trial, you push all your customers from 60 to 90 days in the past into that funnel. Like you'll make it happen, right? You will get a instant burst, because a lot of that stuff is just low hanging fruit. I mean, you're gonna go from 343, depending on how many jobs you're doing in a week. You might bump up to 360, 370, right? Get 20 to 30 new reviews like that, right? That's only 10 reviews a month if you go back 90 days of low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I have a 30% return. So let's just, again, hillbilly math. Let's say the average company gets a 25% return. Right. And you're doing 10 jobs a week, right? That's a lightish company. So now you're talking 40 jobs a month, 25% return. That's 10 reviews a month. That's 10 reviews a month of low hanging fruit, because even if you are asking them now, you might not have made it as simple as it is with one click. Oh, I can just sit here,
Exactly.
right? Not have to put pants on and click. Or way I'm at,
It's
I'm mad about it.
it's so true. Like there's other ways. I've heard people with their own processes and different providers that offer a similar service, and that the mistake they make, and again, in some ways this can be good in terms of getting really high quality reviews. But what they'll do is they'll send a feedback form, right? A survey, 1 to 5. If it's below a 3, they won't send them the review link. If it's
Yep.
a 3 or above, they'll then send the review link. But the issue is when they send the review link, their conversion is so low because the customer feels like they've already given feedback by completing the feedback form. So it makes them get those 5-star reviews in, but very, very low volume. Whereas our approach is, let's give them a link in 2 clicks that the chat box or the text box is popped up on their screen ready to type. So click number 1, they click the link. Click number 2, they choose Google, Facebook, BBB, wherever, and then they're there. So you've got to put as few barriers in front of them. It's like when you're asking people with these surveys, like surveys are so strategically worded because a lot of people, if they're not sort of laid out correctly, people won't complete them. It's the same thing with getting people to complete reviews. You need to make it as easy as possible for them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the real magic, Andy, and it kind of is a good segue into that, is a lot of people think getting the review is the end of the road. Whereas in well, not just in my opinion, but how we preach it at a NiceJob is that that's really just one half of it. The second half of it is what can you do with all of your most vocal fans, all of your best 5-star reviews. And the secret to that is you need to then, it being on Google or being on Facebook is great, but you need to then make sure that all of those best reviews, the most vocal fans, are being seen by as many potential customers as possible. So we do that through automation as well. So we can automate the social sharing of any, you can set the threshold 4 and above or 5-star only, and through widgets, we can automatically share them onto your website. But that's going to be a ton of benefits there because it's adding social proof. So whenever someone's on your website making a buying decision, they're constantly being streamed 5-star reviews on their computer or on their phone. The second thing is because it's not a static review, it's not a review that you've gone on and put there yourself, and if you leave it for 3 years, it's still going to be there. You're getting fresh new content on the site every single time a review comes in. So for SEO, Google loves that. Google loves active websites. So many benefits that come off from the actual sharing of reviews as well.
Yeah, we have the widget built on our website. So yeah, you go
Yeah.
to, I think it'll show 3 5-star reviews that were from recent. And I mean, it's like last week, this person said this. It's not like, 4 years ago. No, that again, it's the seamlessness of it. It's the automation. It's the set it and forget it mindset. And then you get the opportunity to check in, right? Check in every day and respond to reviews. Check in once a week and see where it's at. We use it every week. Every week on Tuesday morning training with our guys, they have metrics. So it's dollars per hour, reviews, an on-time rate, right? Those are 3 metrics that we go over with our guys every single week. And they get rewarded for it. So it was interesting this morning. We were having a Tuesday morning training, and we give our guys, a little bit of cash for getting reviews, $1, $2, $5, fine. And we also buy guys donuts. And so one of our guys, Regis, who's definitely the leader of the clique. So in the military, we would call it the Don of the E4 Mafia. So E4 and below is your junior enlisted soldiers, right? And there's always one guy who has no real authority and has all the authority at the same time, So the Regis, he's the Don, no doubt, And Regis this morning was like, man, like, I appreciate these donuts, but like, can we get some bacon and eggs and shit? Like, can we get something real? I'm like, I'll fuck with that. I got you, Regis. So we talked about it, myself and Andrew Grubb, my business partner's leadership team. I said, cool. Tell them when they come back today, tell them we will buy no shit hot breakfast, Chick-fil-A, fucking breakfast sandwiches from the Quick Trip, bacon and eggs. We will buy them hot breakfast every single Tuesday when they are green across the board. Reviews, dollars per hour. There's a 4th metric I'm forgetting. Now it's going to drive me nuts. It's reviews, dollar per hour, and on-time rate, right? Because we have some guys that just do not like showing up to work on time, right? And what's going to happen? We're going to say, all right, guys, we're having Chick-fil-A next Tuesday. And then we're going to be red in some area. We're going to be deficient, right? Which gets me out of the bind. Now I'm not paying for breakfast. And now those guys are going to hold each other accountable, right? So it's like, hey, man, you got 8 jobs today. Can you get 2 reviews? That's 25%. It's like, no, I'm going to get 4. Good. Go get 4. Get 50%. Because maybe tomorrow you're going to run into some customers that are tough, right? When we do jobs with lock boxes, that's tough. When you do jobs for commercial jobs or commercial accounts that have already given us a review, there's zero chance, right? So it's like, hey, you got to win the fights you can win. So we told our guys, you want hot breakfast? Go get some reviews. Use the thank you card. Use the automation. We know we're going to get that 15, 20% baseline with NiceJob. Like, those are the freebies. Now it's your chance to even encourage them even more. Like, tell them, open your phone, click the button, stand there, right? A lot of people struggle with technology. Like, walk them through the technology. That's the key.
You know what I've noticed as well, Andy? You know what I've noticed while I'm looking through your reviews here as well?
Please.
And I think what you're saying there, it makes a lot of sense now. I've noticed so many of your reviews, the customers are specifically naming your techs. So
our
like,
guys get an extra buck. They go from $1 to $2
yeah,
and a thank you card. On our thank you, Taylor, go downstairs and grab a thank you card. See, this is why I have a producer. He makes me look good. He makes me sound good. He runs and gets the gum. He fills my coffee every once in a while. I'm not bougie. And maybe I am bougie.
I mean, there's three reviews. Yeah, there's 3 reviews here in a row with Regis in it. Like, he's grafting. Yeah. So I mean,
Regis is a money-driven individual. That's $6 he did not have a day before.
It's
Regis
true.
will, yeah, let's go.
But you know what? Like, that actually fosters a really good culture in the company though, as well as, and especially when you've got people who you're potentially looking to bring on. If you're trying to hire a new employee, take a look at our reviews. Look at the praise and acknowledgement our techs are getting. Like, that's a company you want to work for, right?
And also, so Regis, we're in the process of promoting him to crew chief, and we're training him. So if someone's like, well, hold on, why is Regis getting promoted? Why is Regis getting extra training? It's like, well, look at the reviews. He's going up and beyond, delivering great customer service. So Eric, to answer your question, what's our bonus structure? It's very simple. Every employee that's on a job that gets a review gets $1, right? So even with NiceJob automation, they get a buck for showing up and doing a good job, right? They get $2 when their name is in the review, because then they're using the card. They're using the thank you card, which Taylor's going to bring to me, and I'm going to hold right here, and you're going to see on it, right? It has a spot that says your crew. And then they get $5 if they get a picture associated with it. Now, all reviews are Google. They have to be on Google. That's our metric, so you can't get like 7 reviews from the same customer, right? It's Google only, because that's where we want to drive people. And also, that also encourages the guys to have the conversation. Like, hey, here's NiceJob. Here's a link. Click here. Google, walk them through it. And the reason why pictures, when you go to Google, it ranks pictures so much higher. If you put most relevant, it'll always show the ones with pictures. You could have one from pictures from 6 months ago, and it'll show it as more relevant than a review from yesterday. So right here on our thank you card, see, fucking fancy ass, fucking in your face Camo Crew thank you card, no big deal, nice fucking branding, keep it simple, right? And then on the back here, look at there, scan the QR code. That takes them right to NiceJob, and then you can see here, if I can use my broke ass finger, your crew. Right in there, we tell our guys, write your name, write a little message, like your crew, like, hey, Regis, thanks again, like, cool dog, like, whatever. We had one guy used to write jokes. Every day he would come in the morning, he would just start writing, like, your crew, Ian, and he would just write a joke of the day. Like, that was his thing. And the thing is, like, it's make it memorable, right? So yeah, to your point, Regis, like, I bring up Regis. Now, if we say, hey, like, we have 3 values in our company: hungry, dependability, and camaraderie. Hungry, you want to grow personally and professionally. A review with your name on it is a measurable, qualitative, quantitative, both, right? I can qualify it. Yes, it's of high quality. Quantify it. Yes, I got the review, right? Qualifiable, quantitative data point that shows Regis is going out there doing his job. He's delivering quality service, and he's encouraging customers to exhibit a behavior that we want. So now we have our employees exhibiting a behavior, our customers exhibiting their behavior. As of last month, 20.1% of all of our business came from referrals from existing customers. That's a huge piece of our business. It starts by delivering exemplary service. So Eric, it's as simple as $1 for a review, $2 for your name, $5 for a picture. It's that simple. The other thing is, when they have your name, it means it's personable, right? There are people that come to your house. Hey, how you doing? My name is Andy. This is Justin. We're going to be coming in. We're going to be taking care of your quarter trailer. This is the expectation. Set clear expectations. Ask them their name, right? If it's obvious, right? If you walk in and customer's name is Mary and it's a dude, right? I was like, you Mary? Right? And it's always, no, I'm Tom. All right, well, I was confused. And like, it's a funny joke, right? Use a person's name 3 times in the conversations, more likely they'll remember you, right? So you say, hey, my name is Regis. Hey, Mary, how are you? Hey, Mary, where do you want me to do this? Hey, Mary, we're all wrapped up for the day. Yep, my name is still Regis. Here's our
Hmm.
review card. I've told you twice. Here it is on the thing. Go get your dollar, baby. Right. And the other thing is, other employees like working with Regis because he'll do the work to get them reviews. Right. Wait, my guy Jerome's been with us 7 years. He's quiet as shit. He went out one day with I can't remember what happened. We had a call in, something happened. But anyways, Andrew Crum, my business partner, ran the truck. They did 9 jobs that day and got 6 reviews. And Jerome's like, man, I'm gonna work with Andrew all the time because we got fucking cheddar all day. I'm like, well, you got it. We want you to exhibit the behavior, not only be the follower. So there's you will see quick, fast, and hurry, Eric, with your guys who is standing out.
Yeah, I
So there
love
you
it.
go.
Yeah, it's all about building that culture, right? It filters down into that when you guys join, they kind of pick up what the other guys are doing, and it kind of yeah, fosters a pretty good culture for it. So yeah, there's so many different things outside of, I mean, we obviously focus on how reviews drive growth, and that is what I mentioned before in terms of like getting high volume so you're ranking well, and then really being handpick all of the best ones to actually include in your marketing. But there's so many other benefits that spill off it: gamifying it, incentivizing staff, improving quality, making
Yep.
making yourself a great company to work for. Yeah, so I could talk about it for hours.
Well, so let's talk about why, because we're coming up on the top of the hour here. Why are you with
Yeah,
NiceJob? What is it about the company, the culture, the position? Right, they got
yeah,
you all the way from England to come do this. Why are you there?
yeah. So I joined NiceJob. I mean, they started in 2017. So I got in like pretty early. Like it was a very small, very like startup feel to it. I remember there was a little office down in Gastown in Vancouver, and I remember it was around the time of COVID, so there wasn't many people in there. But I remember it was like a little attic and everything. It was and the people that work for us as well. So I joined on the success team originally, like the support team. So I was like
Hmm.
front line in terms of helping our existing users get the most out of the product. So I kind of saw firsthand immediately the impact this was having on people. People just, because typically I've worked in support jobs before, and in support jobs you're always only ever getting, people only ever reach out to you when things go wrong, right? I
Oh
worked
yeah,
for a food delivery service. No one was calling me up and saying, oh, I got my food delivery, like the apples were great. Like they were calling it because something's moldy or horrible.
yeah.
And yeah, with NiceJob, like it was the first time I'd ever done a role like that, where our users were taking time out of their day to say, "Hey, I just reached 500 reviews. Like I couldn't have done this without you guys." So that hit me for six, in all honesty. And then seeing the flip side of that in terms of the other staff, and seeing how invested they were, and actually remembered specific users that would check in with us and said, "Oh, I wonder if Jillian is going to message in. She's supposed to have hit like her first 100 reviews this week or something like that." So we the kind of relationship between us and our users was, yeah, it was pretty special. And that's something that, even though we've now grown and we've taken on more staff and we've taken on more users, that's something that has always remained consistent. So that, I noticed it immediately, and that's honestly probably the thing that's kept me here, above all the other reasons. Like I like being involved in this industry, but I would say yes, the connection between the people that use us and the company.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I pulled a random guy aside at a conference and was like, hey, I love what you guys are doing. Thanks. Appreciate you. And trust me, I
Yeah.
like, so we did a 2-week time study like 6 months ago. We use EOS, the entrepreneurial operating system. And when you do a time study, you put everything into 4 buckets. Either you love it and you're great at it, you like it and you're good, you don't like it and you're good, or you hate it and you're not good at it. And in 2 weeks, I had two 15-minute chunks of time in that bottom right quadrant of don't like it and I'm not good at it, right? Or I hate
Mm,
it and I'm not good
hmm.
at it. And both of those two 15-minute chunks were dealing with vendors, right? I'm a like our IT guy was here today. I was irritated. The computer was acting a fool. I'm like, fix it. I walked out. I took a lap. I made me a cup of coffee. I came back and he's like, I did this, this, and this. I was like, I don't care. Is it not fucking up anymore? Right? Like working with vendors, it is not a strength of mine. Not fun.
Yeah.
When I pay people to do something, I want them to go away. Right? Like
Yeah.
that is how my brain operates. According to my personality test, right? I look at people as a vehicle to get me where I want to go in life. That's it. Right? That is
Yeah.
it. Very clear and concise. So when I find companies in vendor relationships where I'm inspired and I'm empowered by them, I'm like, yes, I am all in. That's why I talk so
Yeah.
highly about Jobber. I talk highly about NiceJob. Recently, I joined the Bolt Accelerated 505 Junk Removal. My guy Barry, I am all about that. Like, I celebrate him and I celebrate what we're doing every week in that accelerator because I'm learning stuff. There's more that I can learn in this junk removal game, even after 15 years. So instead of saying, oh, it was expensive and I spent an hour a week doing all that, no, I'm like, man, I can't wait for Wednesday at 1500 because I know I'm going to dose of what I want to grow my business. Jobber and NiceJob are no different than that. I want to celebrate companies and vendors out there that are doing amazing things that allow me to grow my business. So that's why, I mean, we rarely have vendors on this show. I never even had Jobber on this show, thinking about it, right? Because like you and I jammed, we had a good conversation. I was like, shit, we got to talk about this and get this out there. The whole point of the Trash Talk Business Podcast, as I talk about it from the top of the hour, is to grow and build our junk removal dreams. And this is our opportunity. Like, this gives us that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've obviously since we've met, I've been checking out your show, and I've seen the episodes kind of you grow with the episodes, and obviously we've seen Eric with a Q drop in and said like, you inspire me, bro. So like, yeah, I mean, what you're doing with your audience is like mirrored by what we want to do with our users. So I think that's why we started Jam. So I'm glad you had me on.
Yeah, this has been great. What was your top takeaway from the day?
My top takeaway from the day is I need to send you some more gum. No, top takeaway from the day, honestly, is you've actually taught me quite a lot in terms of, that's why I was asking those questions earlier about what you do additionally outside of NiceJob. And I think, and I still speak to a lot of our users. I know I'm not in support anymore, but I still speak to our users and kind of help them in areas. They're always asking for additional things. And I think what I took away from you in terms of how you've built that culture of getting a review, how you've kind of gamified the process, incentivized staff, I think that's really awesome information that I'm now going to be able to take on and share with someone else. Because people who are driven, people who, like you said, they're always looking to learn more and more. And that's what I love about our users. Like, they'll get good results from us, but they're always like, now how can I go one step more? Like, what more can I do? So the more information I can gather from learning what other people are doing that I can then pass on to others like that, that's the kind of stuff I love. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, the thing is about NiceJob, right? The tool is only as good as the people using it in the culture, right? You got to set it up. You got to cater the relationship. NiceJob will get you the reviews. It'll get you the dashboard. It'll get you the information. It's on you to follow up with the reviews, foster the relationship. NiceJob allows you the automation to be more effective in what you are. And that's my top takeaway is, a lot of times in junk removal and in business in general, you're sold this perfect solution. Like, hey, this will solve all your problems. It's like, no. A NiceJob is only going to be as good. Like, what I love what you said about, hey, getting the reviews is not the last step. It's a part of the process. How do you foster that relationship? Build a relationship with a person. Ask for referrals from that person. How do you build and grow your business? Getting the review is a part of all that. So that's something I really, it's good for our listeners to remember that, right? Because when you make business about, I do work, you pay me, I get review, it's transactional. And transactional businesses come and go every day. It's easy come, easy go. The whole goal of why I do this podcast, why I love this industry, why I'm bringing a level of professionalism to this industry is so that we can transcend what people think about this industry. We transcend this idea that we're just hauling junk and hauling waste and just driving down the road and dumping it out of the landfill. No, there's so much more that we do, and it's important that other people see that we are out there relieving stress. We're selling peace of mind. We're making places better than they were before, and that's the key. Having partners like NiceJob, having the opportunity to get reviews and get that feedback tells us what we're doing right and shows the world all the great things we're doing here in the professional junk removal industry. So, Alastair, I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you. Anybody wants to connect with Alastair, Taylor will drop his contact info. We will, when the new Black Friday special kicks out, we will put it on the Trash Talk Business Podcast VIP page because we want to share it with you. Any chance any time there's an opportunity to save a few bucks getting involved with a great company, we're all about it. Like he said, 2-week free trial with NiceJob for everybody. Once you do those 2 weeks, you're going to be hooked. So do not hesitate to ring out to Alastair. Taylor will put the link in the thing and the stuff and all the technical crap.
Yeah, we'll get the link out there.
Yeah.
Anyone listening, just make sure that when you do go and speak to our team and have this trial, just make sure that you let them know that you did come from hearing about us through Andy.
Yeah.
There'll be a special offer in there for you. So just to kind of give you some added value.
Sweeten the pot.
But yeah, sweeten the pot. That's right.
Here we go. All right. Last thing. Oh, here, Charlie Rose. Taylor, which is true? Charlie Rose is on next week. Charlie Rose coming up next week. I have no idea who that is. That's my, oh, there we go. Transformational coaching driven for entrepreneurs. I do know what that is. I do know what that is because that's what Taylor tells me to say. All right, next week we got Charlie Rose coming on the podcast for transformational coaching. This is what Taylor does for me, for driven entrepreneurs. And in the coming weeks, we're going to be featuring more of you, the Trash Talk listeners. We're going to Eric with a Q on here on the podcast. If you want to be on the podcast between now and the end of the year, we got 2 or 3 slots left here in December. And big teaser, we are going to have a new quarterly guest coming in December, coming from our good friends over at 505 Junk Removal and the Bolt Accelerator. Barry is going to be coming on our show quarterly. He's going to be coming on December 10th. And like Andy Barton comes on every quarter, Barry will be coming on every quarter. His episode got a lot of great feedback. And so when I hear the feedback from the audience, I want to bring back the people that are going to continue to make this podcast and this industry, this community we're building better. So I would love to have you on the show. If there's people you want me to interview, make the introductions. We will get them here on the Trash Talk Business Podcast. On behalf of Taylor, our producer, Alastair, our guest, I'm Andy Weins. This has been another amazing episode of the Trash Talk Business Podcast. We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Tap subscribe or follow to get the latest episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a review and tell a friend to listen. To learn more, visit trashtalkbusinesspodcast.com. Bye now.